Today, we're diving into actor Sam Asghari's really powerful take on freedom, patriotism, and the huge gap between the Iranian people and their government. It's a story that connects two completely different worlds, from Tehran all the way to Hollywood. And honestly, it might just change the way you think about things. So let's get right into it.
So right off the bat, Asghari says something that might make you do a double take. The people of Iran are in love with America. I mean, that is a bold statement, and it kind of flips a lot of what we think we know on its head. It really sets the stage for a pretty surprising point of view. So how on earth did he get there?
Well, to really get where he's coming from, you have to understand his journey. Because long before he was in Hollywood, his story began thousands of miles away in Tehran. And that background, it's the key to absolutely everything he believes. He was just 12 years old when he moved from Iran to the United States. I mean, think about that for a second. That's an age where you're old enough to really remember your home country, remember it vividly, but you're also young enough for a new country to completely shape who you become. And that experience, being part of both worlds, that's what built his entire perspective. So this brings us to the real heart of his experience, this intense contrast between two completely different worlds. For him, it's not just about different countries on a map. We're talking about two fundamentally different realities. And wow, look at how clearly he lays out these two worlds. It's night and day. On one side, he describes Iran as oppressed, run by a totalitarian regime where there are just no opportunities. But on the other side, America is the golden opportunity, a place where you can do whatever we want. He says it's literally the dream for so many people back in Iran. Okay, and this leads us to what is maybe the most important point he makes, a distinction he really feels like the world just isn't getting. For Asghari, you can't just talk about Iran like it's one thing. You absolutely have to separate the people from the government that's in charge of them. He doesn't mince words. He says the gap isn't just some political disagreement, it's a massive chasm. When he says miles far, he's trying to get across this almost unimaginable distance in what they believe, in their values, in everything they want for their lives. So what's causing that huge divide? Well, according to him, it's everything. It's their culture, their way of understanding the world. He even says it's the language they speak. And it all boils down to this one powerful statement of where they stand. We stand with America. He's basically saying this is way deeper than politics. It's about who they are as a people.
And you can tell this isn't just some talking point for him. It's so personal. He feels this absolute responsibility to be a voice for those 90 million people, his brothers and sisters, as he calls them, especially because he knows their voices are being silenced.
And that sense of responsibility, it gets even more intense, even more personal, when he starts to talk about the treatment of women. For him, this is the most painful, most obvious example of the regime's oppression. He starts by using the term second-class citizens, but he immediately says that in his eyes, it's actually much worse than that. He says women are just not being treated as human, and that is such a devastating thing to say. And then, this is where it really hits home. It stops being an abstract political issue and becomes a painful family story. All of a sudden, he's talking about his own 3 sisters. That one sentence just makes it all so real. But right after that gut punch, he shows you the other side of the coin. Those same sisters, in America, they didn't just survive, they thrived. They became leaders in really demanding fields like medicine and law enforcement. For him, this is all the proof you need of the incredible human potential that's being crushed back in Iran. So you take all of it, the move when he was 12, seeing these two completely different worlds, the fight for his sisters, and it all comes together in this really powerful final thought he has about what it actually means to be a patriot. This is his big idea. And it's a challenging one, for sure. It's meant to make you think. He's basically arguing that the people who truly, deeply appreciate freedom are the ones who have actually lived without it. It's a kind of patriotism that you earn through experience, not one you're just born into. And his logic is pretty simple, but man, is it compelling. You just can't fully get how precious opportunity is until you've lived in a world where there is none. He's saying the love for America is strongest in people who have seen the alternative with their own 2 eyes. So we'll leave you with the same question that Sam Asghari's story brings up. What does it really mean to be a patriot? Is it about where you were born, or is it about the values you hold dear, especially when you know firsthand what life is like without them? Definitely something to think about.